What's up, yogis? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna, and I am so glad that you are here. You might be wondering, just wondering why I am dressed so cozy with my socks and my hat on. And I'm dressing cozy because we are doing some restorative yoga for the new year. When I started this channel last year, I made a restorative New Year's class. I will link it if you want to do that. It's actually going to be, it's a little bit longer than what this class is going to be. And there's just something that I really enjoy and connect with doing restorative yoga this time of year while the days are really, really short during the holidays, during the new year. I think it can be a really nice complement to setting resolutions if you're into it. And it can also be a nice alternative to setting resolutions. If you are watching this class in 2021, you might really not be in the mood to set a resolution. I am definitely not in the mood. To quote a meme that's been going around, it is the circumstances opportunity to change, not ours. However, that being said, there is something that I personally enjoy and resonate with when it comes to our seasonality as human beings, right? Human beings, we have seasons, we have rhythm, we're temporal beings. And at least if you are in the Northern Hemisphere during this time of year, the days are shorter. And it can feel really hard to feel active, to feel like in this go, go, go mode. So there is just something for me, at least, that's just nice this time of year to take time to slow down, to unplug in order to rest. And for me, part of that rest and part of that regeneration is just taking time to reflect on what you might be grateful for in this past yearly cycle, to reflect on where you've grown in this past yearly cycle, integrating those changes from your growth, and then kind of using that integration to feel inspired, maybe a little hopeful, and open to what lies ahead for you. For me, that feels a lot more approachable than setting a bunch of resolutions. So that's sort of my intention for creating this class. And we'll lead kind of an opening meditation to connect to that for ourselves. So things that you will need today for class, I'm using 2 blocks, a bolster, and a yoga blanket. If you do not have these exact props, you can use a couple of books, couple firm pillows, a bath towel or a throw blanket rolled up is going to work perfect. I am super cozy, so please also get into some comfy clothes. Maybe make yourself a cup of tea as well. And once you're ready, I will see you on your mat. All right, let's get a little bit centered with some meditation. So I'll sit on my bolster. I want to sit on something comfortable. So you will grab your prop, whatever you want to sit on, to get yourself situated. And what's nice about elevating the hips is the hips are going to get higher than your knees, and it will bring your pelvis into that neutral position. And then from this nice tall seated position, roll your shoulders all the way up to your ears, taking that big lift here. Then rolling your shoulders together and down your back. Feel free to relax your hands down on your palm or down on your thighs, palms facing down to ground your energy. Maybe the palms flip up to receive some energy. Stack your shoulders over your hips and let the crown of your head float over your shoulders. Just taking a moment, either with the eyes closed or eyes soft, to sense your body position in space. So as the hips anchor into the bolster or your prop, notice your weight balanced on the hips. And from that rootedness, notice the spine unfurl like a fern or a plant unfurling, growing towards the warmth of the sun. Noticing the shoulders broaden as they settle on top of the ribs. And imagine someone's taken a string at the crown of your head and is giving that little bit of elevation here. So we're really feeling our way into this alignment. And start to feel your way into your connection with your breath. Let's take a full inhale here together. So breathing into your nose, feeling the breath fly in. Open mouth, exhale, and sigh your air out. Once more like that, breathing in through your nose. Open mouth, exhale. As you breathe on your own, that can continue with your cleansing breath. Or maybe you start to initiate a breath in and out through your nose. Feeling the expansion of every inhale, flying in. And feeling the surrender of every exhale, draining back out like a tide, rolling back out to sea. Finding a sense of rest in this rhythm of your breath. And noticing this effortless cycle of your breath. That there's an inhale, a little pause at the top, the exhale, and that effortless space and pause at the bottom. Appreciating each part of the breath, while at the same time surrendering yourself into that entire breath cycle. And we'll connect with ourselves and reflect back on the cycle of the past year. So with a sense of openness and non-judgment, take a moment to call to your mind's eye and to call into the space of your heart what and who you are grateful for from the past cycle of the year. What or who elicited a sense of gratitude, peace, joy, regardless of your circumstances, regardless of whether you felt that life was going your way. And holding that object of your devotion, of your meditation, in your mind and in your heart. Being completely absorbed in gratitude and experiencing yourself as gratitude. And taking a moment now to reflect on what and who you are grateful for contributed to your growth. Taking a moment to reflect on how you've grown, how maybe you've changed or shifted over this past yearly cycle. And if that feels like nothing's coming to mind, see if you can find just one lesson. Just one lesson. And once you've identified that lesson, allow it to really settle. Breathing it in. So this moves away from an intellectual exercise and into something a little more deeply felt. Right? Something that you can feel in your bones. And from this sense of integration, right, feeling and knowing that lesson in your bones, I invite you to call in a feeling that you want to experience in this upcoming yearly cycle. And I can even share that I just felt a really strong ping come through for me. It's resilience. But whatever that feeling is for you, and see if you can breathe that in as if that lesson and if that growth has already come to pass. And feeling as well a sense of gratitude as if this feeling is your present reality. Notice where this experience lives in your body. Breathing it in. Staying with it moment to moment. Once you feel complete in this reflection, let's start to rub the hands together. So generating a little bit of heat in the hands. And once you've built that heat, lay one hand over your heart, the other hand over your heart. Sealing and closing our meditation with a breath together. Complete your current exhale. So press all the stale air out of your lungs. Taking a fresh wave of breath, fully inhaling here, filling all the way up. Pause at the top And see if you can sip in a little more air, maybe one more little bit of inhale. Hold. Open mouth, exhale, let it all go. Blink your eyes to open if they were closed. And let's get into our first restorative posture. We will be doing a restorative forward fold. So you will need the bolster as well as your blanket for this one. So your blocks or your books can go off to the side. And you'll be seated on your mat. I really like to prop up my knees for this. So that's what the blanket will serve for. You'll just kind of roll it up and then slide it underneath your knees. Right, and what that's going to do, it will give a little bit more slack in the hamstrings, and which will lead to a little bit more movement through the pelvis and release in the lower back. Take your bolster or your pillows and place them over the legs. And just take an inhale to roll the shoulders down, let the heart lift. And as you exhale, start to walk yourself down onto the bolster. So finding a position that's comfortable for you, and you can take this a couple different ways. So maybe you do feel comfortable resting the arms here and then the head can come down. You can also bring it a little bit higher up on the thighs if you want some abdominal compression. That can also feel really nice. All right, in restorative yoga, we tend to hold poses for a few minutes at a time. So this setup, this really ensuring that you're in a place where you can totally let go is a really important part of this practice. So just take a couple more seconds to get like 5 to 10% more comfortable. And then once you feel that release, maybe begin to rest the head down. We'll be here for about 5 minutes. Taking one more inhale and full exhale. And slowly let your head come back up. Just take a moment, prop yourself up on your props, your bolster, or your pillows before coming all the way out. Remove the pillows. Place your feet down to slide the blanket out. We'll just kind of windshield wiper the knees gently. And you can also kind of jiggle the knees just to get the blood flow back. All right, let's set up for our next restorative pose. So our next pose is going to be deer pose. You're going to need 1 to 2 blocks. If you have a longer bolster, you might need 2 blocks. For mine, it's a little bit on the short side, so I'm actually going to use 1. A traditional way to set this up is to prop your bolster with one of the blocks on medium level and one on the highest level, but you can see that my bolster here, it's just a little too short for that. So for me, let's see what it is. That looks pretty good. So again, all you want is just your pillow at this incline, right? And again, you're taking a lot of care as you're doing this because you're setting yourself up to completely let go. So you're going to approach your bolster, and let's do the right side first. So you'll bring your right hip close to the bolster and your legs are kind of swung around to the left. You can absolutely, whatever's the most comfortable for you, sit with your feet kind of swung around to the side and your left thighs on top. You can also be sitting on the inside of your left heel and your right foot is at your left thigh. So both work. And then you'll turn to face your bolster as you inhale. And then as you exhale, begin to start to walk and lay your torso down on your support. And your gaze is kind of up to you. Either ear can come down. If the left ear is down, right, it's a little bit more of a twist. So it's up to you. I'm going to have my right ear down. Right, just taking a moment, right, getting a little bit more comfortable. If you want to try placing another ear down, that is absolutely okay. Once you feel like you are in a variation of the pose that you can completely release into, take a full breath in and a full breath out. Taking a few minutes here to completely surrender into gravity and experience the support from your props. Taking a full breath in, full breath out. Slowly return your forehead back to center. Place your hands on the floor on either side of your props and just take that moment. Slowly come all the way back up. You could take a little windshield wiper of your knees here. And then we'll change sides. So you can absolutely just swing your legs around. I'm going to put my props the other way, so I'll stay facing you. So for the left side, your left hip is going to be close to the bolster, and you can either swing your legs to the right and have the right leg on top, or you can also be sitting on the inside of your right heel and your left foot's making contact with the right thigh. Turn to face your prop as you inhale. And as you exhale, begin to walk yourself down onto your bolster. There's no wrong way to place your gaze. It can be either way. If you could get 5 to 10% more comfortable, just make that change. And then once you feel like you are in that comfortable position, we'll take a full breath in here and a full breath out. Feel free to close your eyes. Continually in this process of inviting yourself to release and surrender. And taking one more full inhale. Full exhale. Slowly bringing your head back to center. Let your hands come down to frame either side of your props, just propping yourself on your hands for a moment before slowly coming all the way back up. And again, you can give a little shake to the legs. And then we'll set up for our second to last pose, which is, I know deer's pose is my favorite. Legs up the wall is also one of my favorites. We're doing legs up the wall. So you can use a pillow, a bolster for this, or a block, something to elevate your hips. So the way to get set up for this, it's not super technical. So I'll kind of get into it this way. You'll put your prop close to a baseboard and then scoot yourself over so your hip is going to be near your prop. So what I do is I lower myself down onto my back, start to walk your feet up the wall, and then push into your feet to lift the hips and slide your prop underneath your low back. And then take a second to get comfortable. I'm kind of scooching my hips forward. And my prop is like right at more of the top of my pelvis. So it's not really on my tailbone. It's more supporting my low back. And find, again, taking a couple moments, seeing if you get yourself at that point of release where you feel like you could completely let go. So noticing if there's anything else you need to do, right? If you could get 5 to 10% more comfortable, take those adjustments now. And then once you feel that you are in this version of the pose where you could completely let go, feel free to close your eyes. We'll take a deep breath in here and a deep breath out.
And for the last couple minutes here in legs up the wall, you're welcome to let the legs start to fall open into more of a straddle shape. You can also bend your knees, placing your feet on the wall in more of a happy baby, if those feel good for you. Otherwise, continue to have the legs extended and enjoy the benefits of this inversion. And taking one more inhale here. And full exhale. So to come out of this pose, if you were in that straddle, you could even use your hands to help guide the feet back together. So I get out of this by placing my feet on the wall, lifting my hips as I move the block or your prop out to the side. Lower your hips back down. Let your knees hug to your chest, and then roll your way slowly up to a seat. So who's ready? Hands up if you're ready for Shavasana. Here we go. Let's set it up. So you are welcome to move into the most comfortable Shavasana that works for you. I'm going to show you a variation of Shavasana using your props. So I'm going to put my blocks down. If you're using books, just make sure that they are of equal height. And then you're going to lay your bolster or your pillows on top of your props. Since we will be here for a bit, you are welcome to add extra cushioning so you can have a blanket underneath your hips, and you're going to want to be cozy. That's why I wore my hat and my socks. So make sure that you are warm here, or at least that your feet are covered. And if you're taking this variation of Shavasana, you are going to prop your knees on your props, on your pillow, so that the ankles are flopping down. I don't want just your calves on the blocks. I want your knees to be supported here so they don't hyperextend. Let your knees drape on your props, and then slowly lower yourself all the way down onto your back. And taking a couple minutes, make sure you're as comfortable as possible. Maybe you want to grab a pillow here, right? Maybe that 5 to 10% more comfortable is getting an extra pillow for your head, or even a towel for your eyes. All We're just taking any little movements, any final adjustments to really help you release here. And once you feel that you are in the version of the pose that will help you completely release, feel free to close your eyes. Taking a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Using this time to embrace our rest, our stillness, completing the cycle and honoring this completion of the cycle to serve our evolution. So this time in rest is integrating the benefits of your practice. I will wake you up when it's time. Begin to deepen your breath. Initiate a little bit of movement back into your body, your fingers, toes, ankles, and wrists. Maybe even taking a full stretch, letting the arms and legs reach away from each other as you inhale. Exhale, slowly draw your knees towards your chest as you roll through one side. Just pausing for a moment in a supported fetal position. So Shavasana represents the death of our practice, complete surrender to bring us into the next cycle. We reemerge transformed. Press yourself as you're ready all the way up to a seat. Feel free to keep your eyes closed. Just like we did at the start of class, with your eyes closed, we'll slowly rub the hands together, once again, generating that heat. And then as you're ready, laying one hand on your heart, other hand on top. Feeling that connection to your heart space. Honoring where you are in the completion of one cycle, at the precipice of beginning another. Standing present in that moment. Closing our time together with a full breath. So complete your current exhale, pressing out all the stale air. Inhale through your nose. Open mouth, exhale. Unite your palms together in prayer, lifting the prayer up, connecting the thumbs between your brows, third eye center, the seat of your inner wisdom and your inner light. We bow in gratitude. Thank you for giving yourself this time to reflect, to regenerate. Thank you so much for letting me guide this time of reflection. Happy New Year, yogis. Thank you so much for giving yourself this time. I think it's super important and amazing. Seriously, thank you, thank you, thank you for letting me guide you through that reflection. Thank you for showing up to my channel. I started this channel last year just as something fun to do and to scratch my teaching itch during the pandemic. And I'm really now hoping, now that it's been a year and I've kind of toyed around with it, I'm excited to make it definitely more regular and to really put in some energy into helping this channel grow. So ways that you can help this grow is really to share this with a friend who needs some free yoga in their life right now. As always, comments and likes and subscribe also really help. So yeah, I am very excited to see y'all in the next class. Until then, happy holidays and happy new year. Wishing you peace and blessings. Thank you so much.